All right, welcome, guys. We are continuing our one shot that I am running. This is, of course, I am Mason. I'm a little flustered right now because words are coming out and I don't have any control over them. Anyway, my name is Mason. You guys all know the rest of my cast. This is Logan playing Edward Smythe,
How we
Ray
doing?
playing Sir Therios,
Hello.
and Brian, who will be playing Einar, the overweight sea dragon.
The buoyant sea dragon.
Yes. I'm sorry, the buoyant one. The buoyant sea dragon.
Yes.
Um, Getting right into things. So, if you guys recall last time, you had made your way into the mine after looking through Clarence's journal, realizing that some of the stuff at the end of his journal was not in fact gibberish, but was almost coded, almost like it was a mix of a couple different languages, which you allowed you to translate some parts of it. Uh, we still good? Everyone froze there. Did I?
No, you're good.
We're good? Okay. Uh, so you were able to translate parts of it, seeing that he had uh seen something inside the mine, inside this hidden temple that the mine had uncovered. A shadow or figure-like person who was also somehow wrapped in light. Upon reaching the mine, you encountered a zombie, however, which seemed hesitant to step out of the mine, yet seemed to lead you deeper into what you realized ended up being a trap as a group of yet more zombies approached from behind and began to attack you. Edward was able to take out at least the first wave using his channel divinity, and he was able to destroy most of the undead. And you were able to handle them quite promptly. But upon examining some of the bodies, you realize that these zombies were made from deep elves, a group of elves who typically dwell in the deeper areas of the world of Astria, who themselves have are rumored to have almost like bioluminescent skin, which, as Einar discovered, was explosive when in the decaying bodies of their dead. You continued forward, discovering the passage which led to the temple, and then along the way also happened to find what seemed like a small shrine, almost, with some bread and a small little stick figure effigy. You took some time to discuss what that might entail, if it has something to do with this um, this one god from old myths known as the Little Darkness. And before you entered into the main cavern that housed the temple proper, upon which you could see far in the distance these pillars rising up, supporting a roof, and lights coming from inside the temple structure. And against that light, you saw a silhouette, a shadowy figure who, with a cacophony of light that ran along their body, vanished with a clap. And that is where we pick up.
Uh, we're like right inside, like we just walk in and we see that.
Yeah, you have just managed to kind of squeeze your way through the entrance
Hmm.
into this larger cavern. You see a path going off to the left that seems to be winding down the side, almost like video game design. Uh, Making its way down towards the ground floor of this chamber. You're kind of looking down on the temple from an overlook.
Just to kind of
Squeeze your way through. There are various pillars in there, and there looks to be some sort of like central closed space that you can see light traveling out of through some of its open passages. And the shadowy figure had been maybe 20 feet in front of you, standing on a rock, sort of crouching on a rock. And they seem to see you and vanish into thin air with a burst of light.
guess I'll go over to the edge of the kind of like the cliff, I guess, or the dais, looking down over the temple and just kind of look and see if I don't know, just see what I see at a closer inspection.
Okay. As you look down from the cliff edge, do you have dark vision? Yes, you do. You're a tiefling,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Okay. as you look down over the cliff edge, uh, there's almost there's you see broken pieces of building mixed with rock, some of it almost submerged. Nothing like along the lines of rubble. It is building material that has sat here for so long, it's almost like it is almost emerging directly from the rock,
Mm-hmm.
as if it has been as almost as if it had to have been like unburied or is somehow just mixed and crushed and over time has been pressured and become part of the stone and earth and ground. Uh Looking around kind of from what you can see with your limited dark vision, it's a huge chamber and there is definitely rocks and things and pillars, and the topography is very difficult if you were to walk straight, if you were trying to climb down and make your way to the temple in a straight line. But you do notice probably about 20 feet out from where this temple structure is, the ground is smooth. It looks almost like it's paved, almost
Hmm.
in like as if somehow the earth didn't touch it.
All right. Clock that. Turn back to the guys, and you guys see the fucking shadow thing? Yeah. Yeah. I mean that has to be what that's got to be what they were calling the little shadow, the little darkness. That's got to be what that was, right?
I can't see what you guys are talking about.
What?
Einar just been munching this whole time in the background.
Wait, did you not see that thing on like the rock pillar way out there that like flashed away in a thing of light and shadow?
I can't see anything past the torch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have dark vision. So to clarify, Einar, this shadow was actually silhouetted by
Oh,
some of
okay.
the light that was coming from the temple.
Okay.
And you did see that sort of almost like a cacophony of light that seemed to surround it briefly before it flashed away. So you did see that part. You can see nothing beyond the torchlight, so you see this cliff, you see Edward peek out over it, but you don't see anything else. And you do see the path off to your guys' right, left.
I can see my pouch full of snacks, though, right?
Yeah,
Or
that is always firmly in sight.
okay.
I would like you guys, all of you guys at this time, to make a perception check.
For fail, baby, starting off strong.
23. What'd you get, Edward?
Crit fail. Total of 5.
Edward? Crit fail. Okay. What's total of 5? Okay. Einar?
Working on it. Oh, I didn't enable dice. Okay. I left my dice upstairs. I'm not gonna go get them.
Gotcha.
I got a +8. 22.
22. Okay.
22.
Edward, you're kind of a little shaken by this situation because this is kind of your territory. As a man of the cloth, this is sort of your territory, and this is kind of both
I'm more of a
exciting and
temple guy.
terrifying at
I'm
the
more of
same
a
time.
book
Yeah.
read. I'm more of like a see it from a distance. This is
Yeah.
fucked.
Despite your great age, this is kind of outside of your normal experience, but also it's like really close home, and it's an interesting sensation. So you're kind of not really terribly paying attention all that much. Tharros and Einar, however, both of you guys are accustomed to keeping yourself tuned. And you do hear You're not exactly sure where, but it sounds like almost like a hissing. And you do it sounds almost like a hissing of air, but it sounds like it's coming in your direction, but very, very slowly. You'd almost characterize it as cautiously. You feel like there might be something watching you.
What do you mean? You see something? Coming coming from where? Hmm. I'm gonna crouch. Hmm. Einar, do you see this as well?
I don't see
Or
anything.
hear? Or hear?
I
I'm
hear it.
sorry. Do you hear this
You
as
do
well?
hear this.
I
You
meant
do
to. Yeah, I meant to say hear.
this.
Yeah, I don't see anything,
Yeah.
but I can hear the hissing. Now, you said it sounded like air, like by hissing, like
There's
like
almost
or is it like a snake? Like
it's you would say it wouldn't be quite like a snake. You'd say it's more like it sounds like it's the movement of air, but it's the way it's coming. The way you hear it, it almost sounds like some sort like patterned, almost like a pace. And that's what gives you the sense that you feel like there's something that's approaching you.
Mm,
So you guys are standing on top of this cliff,
mhm.
just entering in. You hear this hissing. You see the temple before you. A mysterious figure who has just vanished from sight. What do you do?
You say it's coming from. You said it's coming from the path forward, leading down, Tharros.
fight the darkness.
Right. We can either attempt to let it come to us or charge forward.
Kind of glance around. Are there any like stalagmites? Any like anything we could possibly like use as cover? Are we an open? Are we an open flat?
Where your entrance point is, it's fairly flat and it's very narrow. Like you guys are able to
Okay.
stand on it, but it's still not really that much space. Like a fourth person, a fifth person, you guys would be kind of crowding on this in this little entrance spot and be very difficult to kind of hold that position without risking getting falling off.
Mhm.
Einar is gonna walk forward. It's being cautious, so I'm gonna walk cautiously forward.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
I think Sir Tharros will back you on that.
Mm-hmm. I'll follow.
There's nowhere to go, so let's
Yep.
into the breach, my friends.
As you guys start taking a path, making your way downwards. Einar, you start hearing this hissing because your passive perception, I believe, is the highest. I think yours is 17, you said?
Passive perception, 18.
Yeah, your passive perception. 18? Oh, it's
Yeah.
even better. Is you're kind of in the back of your head, you're kind of focusing on that hissing, and you start hearing it starts shifting almost rapidly. For a moment, you almost feel like you hear words And then somewhere in the dark, from kind of off and to your guys' right from where you came in, there's a flash of light, and you guys see a bolt of lightning shoot out, strike the entrance where you guys were standing just a little while before. There's a brief rumbling in the ground, and the entrance is collapsing
Mm-hmm.
as rocks fall down and block the entrance that you guys just came through.
Shit.
Seems they want us to stay and play.
If they want to play, let's give it to them.
Indeed.
They attacked a wall. They didn't attack us.
Keep on guard.
And I would assume that would mean there's a way out. If you attack one entrance, you would have another way. So, at a minimum, there's at least one other way out of here. Anyways, Sir Tharros is going to start boldly walking forward, and axe ready to go, just like, let's do this.
All right.
Yep. Pull up my warhammer. Same deal.
As you continue forward, as you continue on down this path, it does start winding a little bit. You start having to maneuver through some of these rocks. I'm assuming your goal is you're moving towards the temple building?
Yep.
Okay.
Where's
You
the
start
hissing?
winding through. Yeah, well, the hissing actually has seemed to have stopped. As you continue on forward, you start to pick up what seems to be a little bit of path. It looks like a bit of a path. Looks like someone has actually gone out of their way to try and move some of these looser rocks that are on the ground out of the way, kind of making a bit of a path. Tharros, you were in the lead?
Sure.
Okay. As you kind of are moving forward, you have dark vision, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving forward, you kind of notice off to one side, it looks like there's a body on the ground. Off to one of the sides over here. Looks to be another one of those elvish bodies, but this one is unmoving.
I take a hand off, put it up, like, not to stop, but like, look over there. Danger there.
You guys are able to see the body, Einar. Actually, Einar, it is close enough that if you were to raise up the torch, you'd be able to spot it.
Another one of those deep elves.
Does it double dead?
Yeah.
From this distance, I'd say it's sprawled out enough. You guys don't notice any of the wounds that you have seen previously on its sides. However, you do notice almost looks like a handprint on their chest.
Can I go inspect the body?
You kind of make your way over the rocks, make your way over to the body. At which point you realize it is not a handprint, it is a burn of a hand placed into their chest.
Like burning hands.
Possibly.
Urukai.
It's sort of like literally almost as if someone had placed their hand on the body and it just burns like the palm of their hand into the flesh. Fairly deeply too. It's kind of grotesque.
What is Sir Tharros? Is he a paladin or a
No.
fighter?
You saw him rage out last week.
Rage. Yeah. I don't know. He dresses all fancy, so.
Yeah, he's a noble barbarian.
Ah, paladin.
Sure, we'll go with that. No, he is a barbarian. He rages. He's very much a strength-oriented person.
Yes.
You do know Edward is a man of the cloth. He is a cleric.
You guys, you guys are religious in this part of the world. Do you guys do this stuff?
No.
Take a look. I mean, what do you see over there? I'm assuming we're still on the path.
Yeah. I mean, the body's not that far off the path. This is literally like
No, I
just
know,
a
but
little
like,
bit off.
was anything interesting with the body?
Well, they're undead. So
Yes.
if they're undead and holy people touch them, don't they burn them?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'll go over and take a look at the hand and
Yeah, you see the handprint that is on his chest.
can I make like a religion check to see if it looks like anything we've ever dealt with in the temples? Is that,
If you, I would
or maybe
say,
like a
yeah,
hit?
you could do either a religion or a history check. Either would work for you in your specific circumstance. I think
All right.
religion's probably going to be your proficiency.
Yeah, I'm actually in both too, so that
Okay,
works out.
yeah, that works.
That is a dirty 20. I guess we'll go religion.
Okay. Um, you are a cleric of Hebel, and Hebel is the god who oversees both life and death, life in nature as well as the finality of death of all things. So you've seen your share of dead bodies, and you've seen your share of some people who have been murdered, even.
Mm-hmm.
You have performed at funerals for such people. This person does not appear to. It's almost there's no real religious significance that you can see from the handprint or anything like that. There's nothing ritualistic that seems to have been done with the body. Looking at it, I would say with a dirty 20, you can tell that this body had been animated.
Right. Does it look like? Yeah, it looks like it's something. I guess I'll stand up
And it,
and what's up?
well, I was going to say this body had been animated,
Mm-hmm.
but judging by the wound from the handprint was done after they had been animated.
Right.
There's no blood. There is no attempted healing. There's no like puffiness or anything like that. It is as if someone had just seared his flesh directly. You have a feeling that that handprint is from someone trying to defend themselves from an undead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stand up. Kind of relay most of that information and emphasize, yeah, like either someone divine was trying to touch them or someone was defending themselves, and either way it's not a good sign.
I'm glad to see it's more of a defensive wound than a I make you, ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's better that that's dead than whoever did that to it. So,
as far as we know.
maybe we may find an ally down here.
Hopefully, but shall we continue?
Yeah, we should push forward.
Yeah. You guys continue on, and you are actually now coming to the edge of that. What you'd kind of seen look to be like almost like a circle around this temple building proper. That where the stone, the rock, almost just like natural geography or geology didn't seem to touch it. And so you are now entering into the temple ground proper. Um, Edward, as you cross over the line, I'm assuming you guys step onto the actual into the actual space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Edward, as you specifically almost step across it, there is a sudden feeling of warmth that almost seems to just almost cover you. And
Praise above.
it is a sensation that you have felt sometimes before when entering into temples of particular power and concentration and places of definite faith. Um, this is definitely a holy place. It is definitely a temple. You definitely get the sense that this is very actually intense for a place that has possibly been abandoned for so long.
It seems like active worship of some sort.
You would guess, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's what right. Why else? Why else would that be so potent? Share that with the gang. Just say keep on high alerts. This place is definitely not abandoned. Can feel the religious energy here.
Is that hiss still going on?
That has died down. That has seemingly vanished for now.
Not creepy.
But do make a perception check for me
Perception.
because you are sort of conscious of this.
15.
15. You do feel like you are being watched,
Still being
but you
watched.
do not. Yeah, you don't think there's no hissing, but you have the sense of another pair of eyes on you.
Probably the lightning bolt. That's where his head goes. Shall we go knock?
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys approach this sort of main building, there are various pillars that rise up and support a roofing on it. Very, very solid looking stone roof. However, there is a main central building that all these pillars seem to surround. Which are very difficult to actually look inside the way the pillars are arranged, almost like they're concealing the interior of the building. 6 walls rise up, all facing each other in a what would it be hexagon. Hexagon, right? Hexagon is 6 sides.
Mm-hmm.
Hexagon, in a hexagonal shape, with where the corners would be, there are openings that pillars have been placed in front of, sort of blocking direct line of sight into the central area. You guys cannot see what is inside without approaching and starting to go into it directly.
Any symbols, iconography,
No symbols.
info kiosk?
You, however, do see something very, very odd about it. You specifically, Tharros. The 6 walls that rise up to create this sort of you're assuming there's some sort of interior space. But you notice that they are made of what almost looks like a ivory white stone with brown veins running through it. A material that you are very familiar with because it comes from the Southern Peninsula. This is lion's fang. It's very easy for you to be able to identify it. It's a very, very rare mineral that, to your knowledge, is only found in the mesa that belongs to the city of Felixia.
Excuse me while I get chills. This is the part of the lore I wrote.
What is that, marble?
No, this is lion's fang. This is
So
only
what?
it's lion's fang. This mineral is supposed to be only located at Felixia.
No.
It's what has created that city and has built it to prosper. They're the only source of it.
Seems like someone else got their hand in some.
I've only ever seen tiger's eye.
Well, that's a child's stone in comparison to what this is. This rumors to have like magical properties or assist with magic in some way. I don't know of that much myself, but
I touched the torch to it.
The torch, the flame touches it, does not have any sort of chemical reaction or anything, but when you pull it away, there are no scorch marks.
Are there any braziers around?
No, there is light, but you don't see any source of light yet.
When I look up, what do we see when we look up?
As you look up, if you guys are actually on the underside of the ceiling that covers this space, you do see a depiction of the cosmos in almost like a mosaic tiling. This would be very, very, very old. But it is a mosaic of a night sky. You can recognize some of the features of it because everyone looks up at the sky.
Mhm.
You see some little minors. All of you all see different little constellations that you've seen from the night sky. Except for Einar, you have a different night sky in the Isles.
It
But
looks off.
Looks old.
it's a couple tiles that look
Interesting.
like they've fallen out.
Sir Tharros, knowing the damage this could do to the economy, amongst other things,
Immediately sets a bomb.
immediately wants to find an entrance and figure out what the hell's going on.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys make your way towards one of the side entrances, or one of the corner entrances. As you enter in, you do notice there is what looks like almost like a metal rod that seems to have been stretched across the entrance. You have a feeling that probably something hung there at one point, but has long since fallen to time. As you guys enter in, you see the 6 walls on the interior. Script covers them, or perhaps once did. Very worn, very eaten away at script. 3 altars are situated in this chamber, in a triangular facing each other, each with a empty brazier on them, also made of lion's fang. You also see 3 mirrors, one mirror opposite of each of these braziers. You do not see a source of light, but yet this chamber seems to be filled with it.
Like it's just kind of glowing, or is it coming? It's just kind of glowing oddly.
It's almost like there's sourceless light. I actually drew what this would look like, and you do notice in the very, very center of the room that there is what looks like a cot or something. And near one of the altars, you also see a small little stick figure effigy.
Those, okay, the squares with the black dots are the altars, yep.
Yep.
Huh. I guess it just...
The red lines are where these mirrors are located.
Oh, okay, yep.
Each altar also has a symbol on the wall above it with a word written on it. Which, I believe, Einar, you know Primordial, correct?
Do.
You are able to read these. Over one of the altars is written the word, the Fable. Another one, the Oracle. And another one, the First.
The Oracle, the Fable, the First.
The one with the First written on it has the little effigy sitting on the ground in front next to it.
What does the effigy look like?
A little stick
The
figure.
effigy is a little stick figure.
Very
Same,
similar
almost
to the
exactly the same. Almost exactly the same. Obviously made of different sticks, but almost like a little doll.
So that little stick figure is the Oracle?
It's resting next to the First.
Oh, next to the
altar.
First.
Yeah, it's next to the altar dedicated to the First.
That's the first stick figure.
Technically, it would be the second. No, there's.
But it's labeled the First.
Yep.
The specific word in primordial isn't necessarily a chronological first. Sometimes it means the first as in like the most prominent or the most valued in the dragonborn culture. It might be the title given to the strongest warrior or the chief. They are the first among the warriors. They are the first chief amongst their people.
So it could be a rank
Not
more than a number.
Yeah, it would be an honorific to the person who is most representative or represents the whole almost.
Well, it's either the first stick figure
Fucking
or
keyboard is so
it's
bad.
the best stick figure. Like it's the top of the stick figure rankings. No, Google. I did not want to look up stick figures.
Tharros, you with your previous perception check that you're still, I would assume, still kind of keeping in the back of your head.
Oh yeah.
You feel that presence almost behind you guys from the passages that you just walked down.
I
You feel
look.
like you're being watched from behind. You look and you just briefly see someone almost kind of like dodge back from around the corner. You don't hear the footsteps of anyone running away. But you see someone just kind of duck behind the wall.
I think we have a friend behind us.
Turn around and try to get a glance. I don't see anything.
You don't see anyone there. Do you wish to approach?
Nope. Edward's low-key shaking, just trying to keep his resolve.
Yeah. Tharros' mind is kind of running at the moment because
Yeah.
he feels there's something up with these mirrors and the braziers and the words. We're being watched. The lion's fang here. All this is really just throwing him off, and
they're all the
mirrors.
all the mirrors are aimed at the cot. Oh, I assumed we would have, like, if we're walking by it to the altars, we would have glanced in, right? So we see our reflections or anything?
Do you want to deliberately look in the mirrors?
I mean, I guess so,
Okay.
yeah.
Which mirror do you want to look directly into? The one opposite the first, the one opposite the oracle, or the one opposite the fable?
Tharros is going to look at the fable.
I'll look at the oracle.
Right.
I'll look at the first.
Okay. Tharros, as you look into the mirror that sits directly opposite the fable, you see the room exactly as it is depicted. You see yourself, your friends, the cot, everything. But where there is supposed to be an empty brazier, you see three flames, almost orbiting and dancing around each other, each of different colors, just sort of winding and almost swirling together like a single flame. But there are always three distinct bases to these flames. Edward, you looked at the oracle?
Mm-hmm.
As you gaze into the flame of the oracle, you see, or as a mirror, you also see a flame where the brazier should be empty. You see a tall, towering flame, singular, powerful, and yet somehow you feel like there's parts of this flame that you cannot see. That just something tells you that there's aspects of it that almost seem to like flicker there for a moment, where the flame becomes something else. The flame becomes a different shape, where the flame, parts of it cease to be, or the flame was never there, or you start getting a headache and you feel like somehow just staring at that flame too much will start messing with your head. Einar, you do not see a flame. You see scattered embers in the brazier, struggling to live, struggling to burst back forth into fire, but there is no fuel. There is nothing to burn. There is nothing to give it power. Just scattered embers inside this brazier that barely hold on and barely flicker to life.
Is there a brazier behind me?
If you look into the mirror, yeah, you look into the mirror, each mirror sits opposite one of these braziers, one of these
Uh,
sort of altar braziers.
I go pour some booze into the brazier and I light it.
You pour some booze into the brazier, you light it, and it just kind of burns, as you would expect.
I turn around. I look in the mirror.
There is no flames. There's still only the embers. But a little bit more distant now, you can see behind in some of the shadows down some of the hallways that you can sort of see through that mirror. There are black flames outside, hiding in the shadows, almost as if the fire that's supposed to be in this brazier was taken.
Oog.
You see the credits start rolling, and you see Oog not appearing in this film.
Do you guys have? My brazier's not lit, but I lit it. And do you guys see black flames?
You look over, I'm like scratching my forehead, like, I don't even know what the flames are. What I don't know what's happening with the flames right now, and I just keep kind of muttering that, looking at the mirror for a minute.
For a brief moment, as you look at Edward, there's almost like seemingly like a flicker, and you see a much younger version of him that then flickers back to his kind of more old elderly self. Tharros?
No,
I look at the booze.
Part of you is sad.
I have 3 intertwining flames, all each a different but prominent color.
You can see them though. You can see the flame, like they're consistent flames.
But your
Yes.
braziers aren't lit.
They are in the mirror.
I don't know. My brazier's. You're right. It's not lit sometimes.
Ah,
At this point, I don't know what I'm seeing. Flames that are disappearing. Flames that are there.
like I point
yes.
to my brazier and it's burning.
Yeah.
There's fire. But there's no fire.
As you guys
then
glance in his mirror, it is exactly as he describes.
Fire.
I believe the mirrors are trying to tell us something.
Like fires?
Well, you lit one and it's done nothing.
I pour some booze into the other brazier, which one's next to me?
To
Table.
your left or to your right?
Oh, I'm in the middle.
It's a circular.
Well,
it's a circular room.
Yeah.
It's a circular room. It's a hexagonal room, and
Show 'em the layout again.
altars are. Yeah, the altars are all like have the exact same distance from each other.
Oh.
But all the mirrors depict
I'll go
something.
to Tharros's because he's not flickering.
Mhm.
And I'll pour some in his
Okay.
and light his.
Okay. Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
No.
I'll help.
Guidance.
No, it's just a straight religion
Fucking
check for
damn
him.
it.
Religion is not my thing.
Okay.
But I'll take a 22.
Okay.
19 plus
22.
3.
All right. As you pour into this, you get the weird sense that someone is very pleased by your actions. You now have a single use of the Chaos Bolt spell.
Oh, what the fuck?
You made an offering to a god. And he was happy.
I go pour booze in the other one.
You go pour booze in the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. For this one, I need you to roll a persuasion check.
11.
11. You you kind of wait for a second. You have a feeling that it wasn't noticed.
Sir Tharros is going to take his a journal or paper or something. He's going to rip a page out, light it off Einar's torch, put it in his brazier, but then blow it out to where it's just smoldering.
Okay. You do that. You put out the flames. They begin to smolder for a little bit. And then, as you kind of are just watching the piece of paper, without burning, the paper just seems to turn to ash. Like,
I have like 9 more torches. Do something similar, but with a torch. It's fuel for fire. He said he had a dying fire.
Mm-hmm.
Here's, he'll actually take a couple in there and put it in there. Here's fuel to burn.
as you put the torches in there, before you can even light them, the wood just seems to just turn to ash and fall to pieces. You get the sense that something is not right with this altar. You get the sense that despite what you are offering, there is no, it's not that there's no God receiving it. There's like, almost like they're empty.
Empty
It's a vacancy.
offerings?
As if you're not the offerings, almost as if you are
Leaving a message.
as if there's nothing that they can give back, almost.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that whatever you are putting in is almost like you're offering it, but there's nothing that can be given in return. And you actually feel a sense of sorrow start to come over you.
This feels hollow. Like almost no one home.
Isn't that the embodiment of a shadow, basically?
In a way, yes.
At this point, Tharros, as you are standing right next to this particular altar, you kind of briefly catch out of the corner of your eye a hand reaching around the side of the altar, grabbing the little effigy, and then pulling it out of sight. And you see a small figure starting to run towards one of the exits.
Oh, as soon as I see that hand, I'm launching for it.
Go ahead and make an athletics check. Athletics. Yeah, it would be athletics.
Athletics. I'm good at that.
Can I cast guidance on this one?
Not quite, no. If you were
About
right next to him, 100%, but you're over by the altar of the
Should have been a
oracle.
fucking College of Spirits bar.
cat-like reflexes. 24.
Ooh.
24. You see it and you're just you pull the arm up, and you are holding the arm as the full body comes into view of a small, dark-skinned elf. Not just an elf, but a youth, a child. You guess maybe 12, maybe 13 years old. Who looks at you with fear, but like the other hand is just grabs the effigy and kind of holds it close. And we're gonna call that there for today.
With hello, my friend.
Just wide-eyed, stark-terrored, deep elf youth looking you in the eye and glancing between the three of you.
Yeah.
and we'll call that there. Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, I imagine Tharros like almost like holding him up off the ground.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well,
with that, go ahead.
I want to thank you all for watching this episode of of Mason's One Shot, presented by the Collective Entertainment Network. If you like a short episode this evening, but if you like what you saw, you can always head to our YouTube channel and check out the rest of our videos. We have a paused Tharros campaign, brought to you by Ghostfire Gaming. We have my campaign, Agents of the Collective, which is really heating up. And we have some video games that we've played there. You can like, follow, subscribe on all of the social media sites. If you want to talk to us directly, you can email us at thecollectiveen@gmail.com. Also, I want to go ahead and put this out to the world. Be watching our social media. In the next few days, we are going to make a very big announcement, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to it. So with that said, again, thank you, Mason, for having continuing our tradition of very long one-shots. Thank you all. We love you, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye.